Now format it for me, words-wise.
Welcome to the Spooky Dooky podcast, the only horror podcast for all you social outcasts.
I like that. It sounded like you were a radio jazz host about to fuck me in the ear. You should do it.
Oh, fine. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Spooky Dooky podcast, the only horror podcast for you social outcasts. Hosted by me, Derek, and...
Oh, it's my turn? And me, Mike.
You ruined it. You fucking ruined it. It's fine.
I thought you were going to introduce me, so I was confused.
You're a grown man. You can introduce yourself, Michael.
Okay, let's do it. Are we going to do it again, or are we just going?
We're just going. We're going for it now. We're going in deep.
All right.
Real deep.
So, this
Super
evening, we are going to be reviewing the movie Circus Kane.
Oh, yes, we are. Jesus.
Very enthusiastic.
It's a movie. It's a movie, and I give it that.
Now, do you have any the little liner notes of who directed this?
So far, only thing I know is that this movie is directed by Christopher Ray, who also directed the movie The First Purge. And no, I don't mean The Purge as in the first Purge that came out, and I don't know when. I'm talking about the first Purge that came out like this year, 2018.
So he went on to direct this after this weird abomination.
No, this movie came out 2017. Circus Kane came out 2017. The First Purge came out this year.
Isn't that what I just said?
Oh, I thought you meant he directed Circus Kane after the First Purge.
No, because that would be a huge step down. The only thing I know about this movie is the kid from Stuart Little is in it, and as you wrote down in your notes, he is what?
Let me load up my notes. He is an annoying little bitch. Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed him, and I was like, this little guy looks so familiar, but I couldn't figure out why. So do a quick Google, and I'm like, wow, that's where that kid went for the last 20 years. What a step down. But hey, still getting work, so that's something.
So what did you think of the movie? I don't want to go into what I think.
Well, let's read off the plot first, because just in case no one has seen it, we could get them maybe into it by setting up a scene.
Okay, you can try. Go for it.
The plot for this movie: a reclusive circus master invites popular social media stars to his house of haunts. Anyone who can stay without being scared off will earn 200. Well, I can't read that number.
250,000.
Yeah, I can't read. I should have dropped in high school.
Can I read it?
What?
Want me to read it? I like reading.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me put on my dramatic voice. A reclusive circus master invites a group of social media stars to his house of haunts. Anyone who can make it out before being scared into submission will earn $250,000. But the stars soon learn that they are only competing for money. Oh, wait, no. The stars soon learn that they are not only competing for money, but also fighting for their lives. Wow, we both can't read. But yeah. I got it better.
Yeah, we're going to use your take. Yeah, so the movie begins with a bunch of spazzes meeting up in a parking lot and then getting abducted by these two, I guess, henchmen of the main character who owns the circus, Belkasar Kane. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
And they're all talking in the back of the van. They're all pretty unfamiliar with what's going on. They just want the money for all various reasons. And they seem to not be getting along, bumping heads a little. And there's all of a sudden this gas pops out of the vents, and they all pass out. And they randomly show up at a convenient location that is this guy's house of haunts, which they are escorted by what a guy that they made a joke that looks like the Lurch from Addams Family, to a room where they are then greeted by some screens where Belkasar Kane is somewhere in some control room or something.
Right.
And gives them the whole rundown of, okay, You think you guys are cool with your social media following? Well, we're gonna record this while you're going through the House of Haunts and see if you can survive. And yeah, that's what sets up them going through the house. So, what was your favorite, I guess, room?
Okay, so the room I liked the most was the barbed wire room. I'm pretty sure that's not how barbed wire works, but I enjoyed watching them go through the barbed wire room. It builds suspense, and the death scene that happens towards the end of that scene, I actually liked that. I think that was my favorite death of the whole movie. But yeah,
They went to that twice, right? Or it was just two barbed wire-esque rooms. Are you talking about the death where the woman kind of takes a lunge at the barbed wire? Are you talking? Okay. Because there was the barbed wire room where they had to army crawl underneath it, and there was the one where my favorite character, he doesn't have a name. It's that creepy clown with the really long face.
Yeah.
He just like he kills. I think his name was Mike, the dark gentleman, the big fat nerd.
No, his name is actually Billy. I got him in my notes. He's Billy, gamer, Mike, annoying Billy, old fat black guy who is. Oh, well, never mind. I'll let you keep going. I have a lot of notes here, but yeah, Billy.
Okay. Yeah, he got an axe to the back, and then by that clown and then that clown runs out after haunting them, and all of a sudden, I forgot which character, what her name is, whatever. She watches him run to the opposite side.
Roxy.
Okay, Roxy watches him kind of run through the barbed wire unscathed, and she's like, if he could do it, I could do it. Everyone's like, right. Roxy, no, don't do it, Roxy! No one's really trying to stop her. They're all still probably competitive over the money, probably. And she runs right through it, she has no chance. And what I was thinking, though, would they be able to continue on if Roxy never ran through that? Because she absorbed all the barbed wire.
Right, yeah, she made it super simple for them to get through. She took one for the team.
I guess so. He really wanted the money. There's not really a lot of backstory why they want money. The kid from Stuart Little. Yes, the kid from Stuart Little is in this movie, like I said, and he was like, yeah, I got a lot of trouble stealing stuff, so I kind of need this money. And then Roxy's like, my brother, out of nowhere. She never said anything.
That wasn't Roxy. That was actually oh wait, it is Roxy. Never mind.
No, it is Roxy. Roxy's like, no, they have my brother. I need the money. She starts running through like a year or whatever. I mean, they didn't say what is the problem. You see, that's my problem with a little bit of this movie. They didn't give enough reasons for why I should care about these characters. Like, they made Billy, the guy, the basement dweller, like make a bunch of jokes that he's like a loser. He's like, I want to go back to my basement when he's stuck in the barbed wire or whatever. But yeah, there's not really any backstories of what these people like really are. They're just all influencers in some way, which they never really interact with their audiences. Their phones are never shut off. So that would have been cool if they live streamed like, hey, someone call the police. Like, that's the thing about this movie. They could have called 911, but they waited till like 2 hours later to call 911.
I have so many gripes with this movie, and like, you would think, what's his name, Balthazar Kane would have thought to like take away their cell phones before this whole thing happened, because they end up calling the police, and the police comes. Like, what were you thinking? Why did I mean, it's a lot of plot devices that they set up and just completely ignore it later on. Like, you keep saying that they all had a social media following, but do you know what they got a social media following for?
No, I think they just assume that the big dark dude Billy is a gamer.
Right. So they all are horror influences all influences in the horror community online. So
so is he a horror gamer?
Yeah, like he was playing some zombie game. But when they were watching the tape on the bus, Balthazar Kane, he was like a reviewer, a blogger, a collector, a scream queen, a gamer, a rocker, a blogger, and a teen. Every aspect of the horror scene. So that's how I knew that they were.
Who was who though? Like, it's so vague.
Okay, so I'm going based off what I do know. Okay, so the collector is obviously Eddie, the
Yeah.
annoying dude who looked like Robert Downey Jr. Um, the Scream Queen was Carrie, who was just a throwaway character. The girl who she got
Short hair.
choked out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. By my favorite character, by the way. Again, I love that clown. Make a spin-off like Terrifier with that guy. I love that guy. He's so creepy. My favorite room, going back to that, was the room that sets up for the barbed wire, one of the barbed wire scenes when they're trying to find a key, as always. And the clown, my favorite guy, is sitting within the stuffed animals, which is really annoying that no one really noticed him. But all right. And he kind of bites off Billy's fingers.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're all, like, freaking out because Billy's fingers are missing and whatnot. They're trying to figure out how to get out, and they kind of let the clown get away again, and that's when he comes back and kills Billy.
You want to know what pissed me off a lot about that scene?
What?
Okay, so first of all, Billy's upset about the scratch he got from the barbed wire. So, like, out of nowhere, he's not goofy character anymore. He's, like, serious now.
Yeah.
Which is, like, weird to begin with. And then you can tell that they shot the exact same room, that scene that you're talking about. They shot them in 2 different times because the cut was so weird. Okay, so I took film classes, so I noticed stuff like this. I'm weird.
Humble brag.
But Billy was like, well, we obviously got to find his key. So I'll start in this pile right here. And then they changed the shot. They cut away. And they show him look at another pile, and he was like, I'll take this pile.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought that was weird. I was like, this guy really is fixated on this pile. He wants this pile.
It did. The other thing that made me mad is while he was going through the pile, he will pick stuff up and then put it back right where he found it instead of like moving it out the way when he's looking for this key. He's like picking up
stuffed animals or anything. He's kind of just like looks at it, throws it back.
Yeah, it was so crazy. It's so much.
But I just realized about the 2 barbed wire things we're talking about because there's 2 rooms. One was the first one that got them in, and that was the one they escaped out of. So that makes sense why it's confined by the barbed wire. Like each room, that makes sense now. Because like there was like I said, there was the one where they had to kind of matrix their way around it, and then there was the one where Roxy rammed into.
No, it wasn't 2 barbed wire rooms. That's another thing I didn't understand. They went through the barbed wire room and it was a dead end. So they just end up going back the way they came. And that's the same thing that happened with the fire room with the swinging axes. They just went back where they came. It made absolutely no sense. Those rooms, they didn't need to go through it. I didn't understand. They just end up going back to where they was. They did all that for nothing.
Wait, so that was the same barbed wire room?
Yeah, she just turned around and ran straight through everything.
It didn't look like it though. Like you're probably right. That makes sense, but I guess there was less barbed wire that time.
I don't know. This movie, it hurts my brain.
Well, I guess it's supposed to. Like it makes sense that they have to go back and forth with these things because it's a fun house. It's supposed to screw up their brains or whatever. Let's see. We really
want to talk about Jake.
Yeah.
It was a joke because Jake dies right away. We don't even get to know anything about him except that his name is Jake. He's the one who gets sawed in half.
Great kill.
I forgot he was there. I don't know. It was completely. I mean, I guess all the characters were pretty useless.
They're all pretty disposable.
Yeah. Even the survival girl was very disposable. Very annoying. Her name was Tracy. I'm guessing she identifies as a female. Because in the beginning of the movie, she was a boy. Named Travis. So I don't understand what that is.
Is that confirmed, or are we really just that confused?
I don't know. It was a twist at the end. I don't know if they just wrote a twist because at the end it was like, oh, we really need a twist, and they just forgot that everything. I don't know. It made no sense.
Here's the beginning of the movie, everyone. The beginning of the movie, there's some strong man, which I believe is Travis Tracy's dad. and or is Balcazar the dad? I think it's the strongman's dad. Is the dad, and Balcazar
The strongman's the dad. Yeah.
Balcazar kills him, and then explains to Tracy Travis, wearing a very nice bowler cap, says it's basically a speech about misdirection, which leads into, I guess, the finale, which threw me and Derek through a loop, because twists don't really throw us off that much, but I don't think they really explained enough to... Let's not spoil the twist here. Let's make people want to watch it, but...
Why?
What? Why what? Okay, maybe... you know what? Let's talk about the ending, then.
Okay, we're going into spoilers, so if you do want to watch this movie, I guess turn it off.
Here's a spoiler stamp across the screen. So in the end, Tracy's the only one who makes it after Jonathan Nicky Stuart Little dies. And Balcazar Kane starts preaching about it's all about the final act, you're the final girl, and you think, oh, she's pretty much fucked or whatever. Then all of a sudden she kicks him in the nuts or punches him in the nuts and runs past him outside. And the police were called earlier. And she runs out. She's like, hello, hi, this guy's trying to kill me. You see, what bothered me about this, I know police officers are supposed to be pretty stone cold and like not have a reaction. It didn't seem like they cared at first. They didn't really react. They're kind of like, there's a fucking crazy clown on the stairs, but they didn't really care.
Oh, that's because he wasn't black.
You know what? That's some social commentary. That's for another day. So she gets in the cop car, like, ma'am, we got this. I'm sorry, that's Travis. That we don't know what she is. Too far?
Nah.
Okay. So Travis Tracy's in the back of the car, and they start shooting him. And he's absorbing a ton of freaking bullets. I guess
he got shot in the head.
Yeah, so. the first shot, right? First shot.
Yes.
And he's just absorbing it. He's just walking and preaching about some bullshit that I don't understand. And then eventually he gets taken down by the cops, and she's crying in the back of the cop car to think, oh, that's the end of it. But in the beginning of the movie, it begins with her behind what's the word? They're interrogating her.
Yeah.
They're interrogating her, and you think that, oh, she's a victim. Well, the plot twist is she was a plant by Balcazar Kane to continue after he's dead, I assume?
I don't know. It made no sense. I don't know what it will hurt.
Well, if you watch the credits, she does do a promo video similar to what he was doing. Mm-hmm. So she took over. But why did he have to die? Is it because that he was under too much scrutiny from that accident that happened? I
don't know. And what was he? Is he just saying
he's not human?
Demon? Okay.
I guess he's like, okay, what were the other people too? Like, what was
right? That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Because the clown looked normal at first. There was two clowns. There was a jester and a clown.
They looked like extras from the Dark Knight movie. They looked like the Joker's henchmen. They had the clown mask on and big giant guns with suppressors on. I don't know how they got into the United States with suppressors, but yeah.
But I don't think those were masks, though, on the clown. I think that was one of another demon, because that guy at first, he looked like a normal clown. Then he goes down for the chainsaw, and his jaw is all the way down to the ground. Like, I love that. I love that clown. And that's when they found out, when that clown starts cutting Jake in half, everyone starts debating, like, is this real, is it not? And Big Billy over here is like, nah, man, like, he's a plant.
Yeah.
and then horror collector douchebag's like, I hate to agree with everybody here, but you're absolutely right, man. Fist bump, because he's one of those guys.
I hated him at first, but I really like him because I don't know why.
He was growing on me. I thought he'd play a bigger part.
Yeah, his death was pretty lackluster.
Because he had a heart condition, and somebody pops out, and then he falls down on one of those mallet games.
Test your strength thing.
Test your strength games, and his head falls on it, and I guess he just dies. Okay. Dies on impact? Sure. Yes. Horror movies for you.
Oh, man. I mean, they did it in Child's Play 3.
Yeah. The character I didn't like. You didn't like
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah.
I didn't
Little.
like the guy who they made the leader.
I liked him too. What's his name? I can find it.
Like, who died and made this freaking regular
Greg.
piece of shit leader material?
I like his death. It was pretty funny.
It was kind of you could see it coming with the camera angle.
Yeah, but he reached to grab some glow sticks, and when he grabs it, it was like a little toy clown, and it sprays liquid on him, and he starts freaking out because he didn't know what it was. He thought it was maybe acid or something, but it turns out it was just water. And he was like, "Oh, it's just water. I'm fine, guys." And then all of a sudden, Mike's favorite clown pops up and hooks him.
No, it was the Jester. The Jester had the hooks.
Oh, the Jester? Oh.
Yeah, because then after that, Roxy starts backing up in slow motion. Here's where my biggest gripe with the movie is this death scene when Roxy dies. Not Roxy, shit. Carrie.
Yeah.
When she backs up into my favorite clown and she starts choking her, all these weird effects start going off for no reason. Like, for
the effects. Okay, so for people who haven't seen it, the effect is they will overlap two different scenes and like crop it, and then they will like change the transparency, so it's just two scenes overlapping each other, and it's just so weird to look at. And I thought it was weird when they did it on the bus. They just did it so many times for no reason, and it was just weird. It
looked weird. Very cheap.
Yes. It's something you would do in a high school production, and I don't understand why they kept doing it. What else was out of place? The Nazi zombie. What was up with that?
Yeah, that was weird. Which I looked up what he was called. It was like something geek. It wasn't even like a Nazi zombie, but like obviously he had the Nazi symbol on him. He was a cannibal. I guess he's post atom bomb or something. Like he's a radiation survivor and he's a cannibal. And that was really weird because he was the final, like, think about it, boss before they went in the room with Circus Kane. That was who, dude, the guy snapped his neck like nothing.
It was so stupid and weird. Like, it's circus theme and he's there. Like,
I guess it's supposed to play off a real fear. And then, like, the character, what's his name? The one you hate.
Scott.
Scott snaps his neck. Is like, shalom, motherfucker. Good one.
I thought he said hello. He said shalom. Oh my god.
It makes more sense now. Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Imagine it like, it's already bad enough doing the over exaggerated Jewish pun, killing a Nazi, but imagine he's like, hello, motherfucker. Like, wow, great zinger, dude.
He said shalom. Oh,
and you watched the movie twice.
In both times, I was very confused. Oh, that's my favorite one-liner from any horror movie now. I'm so dead.
When they went into the room after he killed the zombie, Belkacar was hooked up to like a tank, which I didn't really understand all the way.
I guess because he was dying from... I don't know, because, I mean, yeah, he had those burns on him or whatever, but is he immortal or something? I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of anything that happened, because Scott kept asking Kane, what happened? I mean, why are you doing this? What was happening and all this stuff? And he just kept talking in riddles the whole time. It made no sense. The whole ending was just...
They overdo the Carney aspect with the riddles, I guess. And then he kind of huffs that smoke that he was inhaling and kind of gets some strength to chase after them. So, like, is he only invincible when he huffs that shit?
I don't even know. This movie. You're going to go crazy trying to figure out crazy.
Like, there's a lot of things that I don't understand about this movie. So if he didn't huff that stuff, would he be able to absorb that bullet?
Could he control fire?
At the end, when he did that, he said his last thing before he got shot. Yeah, I think so, because it made a flame.
And
if he can control fire, like, why isn't he just shooting fireballs at the cops?
I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would have took me out for the movie.
I think that he wanted to be killed. That's why. I think that he needed someone to take over because of that controversy with... What did he get in trouble for again?
Killing the people. Killing Tracy's father, Travis' father. Tracy.
But that was the controversy, not like a fire for some reason. Why did I think he was a fire?
Oh yeah, he set the whole place on fire, and including himself. Like when they were fighting, the big strong man.
Yeah.
And Balthazar Kane, when they were fighting, Kane set everything on fire, the whole tent. Which I don't understand, because Travis was in the tent as well, but I guess she didn't really catch on fire. I don't know.
It's a very confusing movie, which I feel like I don't get thrown through that many loops. This isn't like some sort of Shyamalan thing. This is literally just things aren't adding up, and they didn't give enough context to understand it. And I don't see that many reviews of it. So, like, I can't figure out what to make of this.
And I'm surprised they didn't have that many reviews on it, because, like, clearly they were pandering to people like us by having, like, all these people who are influencers for the horror community. I think they were hoping that would get, like, people who review movies like this, like, oh wow, I can relate to this or some shit. I don't know, but they completely failed.
Well, the rollout of promotion, I don't know. I just heard about this movie through Hulu. Just did. So, like, that's already, like, a problem. That's been out for 2 years, and I just heard about it. All right, so I guess that leaves us here with our little gimmick on the channel. Derek, Spooky or Dooky?
I'll give it a big old dookie. It's a pile of dookie. The movie was trash. Sure, it was fun and whatnot, but it was not put together well at all. The plot was all over the plot wasn't even all over the place. The plot was non-existent. It was just a movie full of kills, and some people like that. I prefer a movie where I can actually watch and enjoy. I like a good story. That's why I'm not a big fan of porn, because the story in porn is just awful. And this is it. This is gore porn, and this is not my cup of tea.
Okay. I respect that. Well, I'm going to give a little bit of a strange thing here. Like, I'm going to go with Spooky, but I agree with everything you said. Like, it is a trash movie, but it is very entertaining. I was entertained, so I can't lie. And the rating we have on this channel, you only have 2 options. So it's like, I think it is a enough of a movie where you could have fun, not take it that seriously. The kills are all right. The characters are annoying like every other B movie. It's nothing new here, but it's something that I feel like, you know, people, if they're scrolling Hulu or Netflix and just need something to watch just for the sake of, you know, you need to get that horror itch scratched, you know, it's okay. Yeah, you're going to get frustrated with a lot of points. The plot definitely, they should have rethought that, and they should have made things definitely more clear with what they were trying to do. It's a movie where a bunch of stupid idiots that you don't like go through a house and get killed. I find that entertaining and kind of funny to some extent, so I enjoyed it. But yes, I'm going to give it a Spooky, but grain of salt that. It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first one. That's our inaugural episode of Spooky or Dooky. Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Derek.
Yeah.
Stay spooky, guys. Did you watch Bird Box?
Not yet.
Good luck.